I start to sail on these ocean waves. Nobody knows how to find us. It's turning out to be a perfect day.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Jin here, and in today's video it's kind of special as I'm going to give genuine and positive tips to my co-Filipinos and how we got here in New Zealand as a family. So my husband is a New Zealander, I am a Filipina, and my son is a Filipino. So to my Filipino viewers, this video is for you. But I am trying to speak English here as I have English viewers as well. And also I want them to understand what I'm talking about, since I don't know yet how to make subtitles here on YouTube. So I decided to make this content as I received tons of queries after I posted on Facebook that my visa got approved. So I just want to help, and I want to give genuine and positive tips on how I got the visa and how we got here as a family. So without further ado, let's jump into the video. Alright guys, so tip number one, the first thing that I did is apply visitor visa under partnership, and my son is a dependent under the visa. So our visa application was granted, or our first visa application was granted last July 2019, and that was visitor visa under partnership. So I don't have a lawyer or immigration advisor. I applied it directly in Cebu, Philippines, through a requirements guide and New Zealand immigration website, which I'm going to link the website down below in my description box. The good thing is there is a direct New Zealand immigration office in Cebu, which you can apply directly. So I will write down the location or the address in my description box. And if you want to ask me if I know all the branches, no, I don't know all the branches in the Philippines, but what I know is there is Manila, of course, and if you're in other location like Mindanao or other areas in the Philippines, I believe that you can just search it in Google, since that's exactly what we did. So what I did is I went and studied carefully all the requirements in New Zealand website. So it's legit and it's all free to look. So I follow all the requirements there. So it wasn't easy at all because we were almost declined due to lacking of requirements. So I actually had anxiety, guys, for 3 days where I just kept crying and not eating, because I feel like, how can I accept it if they're going to decline our application? But the good thing was Immigration New Zealand gave us a time frame or deadline to catch up the requirements for just a week only. So the reason why I chose visitor visa partnership first, because it is the easiest way of the application, or especially for the first time, plus your child can be your dependent under your application. Then second reason is because my son is not my husband's biological son, and I was hesitant as well about it, as a work visa is harder compared to a visitor visa application. So third reason is I want my son to adapt New Zealand environment first. So before he go to school, as I don't want him to experience a culture shock, because I know my son's capability, guys. And for example, my son wasn't really good in English language before, but now he's good at it. He's able to communicate and understand English. He actually has a little bit of accent there already. So he gains friends in neighborhood, and now he's ready to go to school, and he gained that little confidence as well. So that's just my own choice, guys, but it's always up to you if what option of visa you want to apply first. So I've been asked by our immigration officer why I didn't apply work visa straight away. And I explained those reasons. Then New Zealand immigration understands those reasons. Alright, so the tip number 2, guys, is follow and submit all the requirements that the immigration officer asks for. So even if I was so stressed out, I still tried my very best to follow and catch up all the documents that the immigration asks for. is very important, guys. Is New Zealand immigration, they really base on legal papers like custody of your child, tenancy agreement with both names with your partner, joint accounts, bank statements, and others. So please take note that New Zealand won't base or doesn't really, they don't matter whether you're married or not. What's important to them is you can prove how genuine you are together with your partner and how long you live together as partners through providing legal evidences and documents. Alright, so the tip number 3, guys, is make sure to submit or catch up your documents on or before the deadline. So you need to make sure to submit all the catch-up documents on or before the deadline, especially if you apply a visitor partnership, because if you're not on time, Immigration New Zealand has the right to decline your application. So you've got to do your best to catch up your documents. So tip number 4, apply work visa under partnership. So our visitor visa has been granted for 1 year of stay here in New Zealand, and based on our visa conditions, I need to apply work partnership visa before my visitor visa expires so I can still stay in New Zealand. So we arrived in New Zealand last July 2019, and then we apply and lodge for work partnership visa application last January 2020. So we kind of apply it late when we could have applied it after 3 months since we arrived. So please take note, guys, the earlier you apply, the better. So we applied it through online application, and you can also apply it directly as well. So others will say direct application is better. Others will say online application is better, but for me, I can't answer that accurately, as I have friends as well who apply directly, but it takes ages for them to wait. And I have some friends as well who applied online and they got approved very quickly. So all I can say, guys, is probably it really depends with the consequences of the situation. So guys, please take note, you cannot work in New Zealand if you don't have a TIN number. So they really require your TIN number. So make sure you have it as well, as just like me. I left all my BIR forms in the Philippines, and as I thought it's not needed, but luckily I have my loving family there who helped me out. So the New Zealand really requires TIN number because for them that's a proof that you are also a tax contributor in your country, or in our country, Philippines. Right, so tip number 5, guys, is always make sure that you are genuine and honest of your relationship, and of course to your application. Guys, this is the most important tip, as being genuine and honest are the main factors or highlights in New Zealand immigration requirement. So New Zealand immigration officers are trained very well on how to cite your application. So if they are not happy and contented with the evidence you provide, they have the right to decline your application. And the good thing about New Zealand, guys, New Zealand partnership visas is they don't require English test. All they require are legal documents that you can prove your relationship are genuine and real. So that's partnership visas. So tip number 6 is be patient and respectful. So guys, this attitude really matters, as if you'll get angry, if you will get angry with your officer because they keep asking this and that, they are more likely to decline your application, because that shows you're not genuine and honest. So please take note, guys, that we are the applicant here. We need to impress the immigration officer as much as we can and show them respect. So tip number 7, make cover letters. So cover letter is very important as well, guys. The good thing with New Zealand immigration is they acknowledge cover letters. So what is cover letters? So cover letters are letters written by you and your partner stating your story. If you need to explain to immigration about your documents, you can state it in your cover letter. That way, immigration will understand your story, or what's the story in regards with your evidences you provide. You will tell them something about it so they will understand more. Alright guys, so tip number 8, apply dependent student visa. This is just optional. So guys, this is optional because if you don't have the kids, of course, you don't need this. But if you have kids, you need to apply dependent student visa if your kid is under 17 years old. So you can apply this visa together with your work visa application, but in a separate category. So the good thing about when you apply it online is you can apply it as a group. So so if your work visa will get approved, then the student visa will follow as well. So also guys, please make sure to comply all the requirements for student visa. I will link it down below what is the website in my description box, so you can just check it out. Make sure to have your the immunization record of your child, because that's a must here in New Zealand. So make sure to bring all necessary documents for your child. Also make sure that you have the full right custody of your child, and if not, make sure that the other parent allows your child to be with you in the country. So in my situation, I have the right full custody of my son, as I was single mother and I'm the one who fully support my son. So how can I prove this? So what I did was I went to DSWD office in Lapu-Lapu, Cebu, where I live, and request for single mom ID. And when you have that single mom ID card, then you can request an affidavit of sole right custody signed by DSWD office and City Hall government office or office lawyer. So make sure that you're really honest because DSWD will go to your house unexpectedly and will interview your neighbors and anyone to prove that you're really a single mom or you're just lying. So guys, if your kid or child is already 17 years old or above, that's a different story as well, of a category of a student visa. So it's just in the website, guys. All you need to do is just please double check and try to explore the New Zealand immigration visas website. Alright guys, so tip number 9, be keen to understand all the requirements in New Zealand immigration website. So guys, I think this is a very helpful tip for me, myself, as I did it all by myself and my husband. So we don't have lawyer or immigration advisor because we try to save money. We are just trying to be keen, or we tried to be keen and smart to understand all the requirements in the website, because the website is absolutely free. So I think you only need a lawyer if you're really in a difficult situation, like for instance, you are married with your ex and not annulled yet. So that's a very hard or difficult situation. So I received a query. One Filipina asked me if an immigration advisor is really necessary. So my answer is no. As I've said earlier, you only need immigration advisor if you're not sure and you don't completely understand the process, or you're in a difficult situations like what I have stated. Alright guys, so tip number 10, make a follow-up call to Immigration Contact Center or Immigration New Zealand Contact Center. So if you feel like you need to ask questions, don't hesitate to call New Zealand Immigration, as they are open 24/7. Trust me guys, it really helps. And last tip but not the least is tip number 11, don't forget to pray and ask guidance to God. guys, is really important. Prayer is so helpful. Guys, let's not forget to include our prayers in our application, as God will give us strength and guidance. So please take note, if God doesn't grant your wish, then don't take it negatively. Instead, take it as a challenge. I know it is not easy, but that's life, guys. What I know is if God doesn't give it to you, then that means He just wants you to prove to yourself that you can do better next time. And He has a great plan for you in the future. So already, guys, that's it for today. So thank you so much for watching. And to those are my 10 or 11 top tips on how we got here in New Zealand as a family. I would love to make another helpful content about this in the future. What's our journey here in New Zealand as well. And I really love to help others because here in my channel, please make sure to subscribe and click that notification bell, as here in my channel, I love making positive contents that can help and inspire others. So to all viewers who wants more information, especially in regards with other visa queries, all information are in New Zealand immigration website. The website link is in my description box. It's definitely free for you to check it out and explore the website. So I would like to say a special thanks to Pinoys in New Zealand Facebook group. This group is very helpful. Pinoys in NZ Facebook group. So to all this is very helpful to all Filipinos in New Zealand. But of course, if you're not a Filipino, you can join as well. If you want to know the group, I will also link it down below in my description box. And I hope these tips will help you guys. And I hope all the best in the future. And God bless everyone. Stay safe. I hope to see you in my next video. Bye, loves.